Hi, everybody. Okay, so this topic is molecular genetics. This is about how your DNA determines your traits. Now, remember that every single cell in your body, from the top of your head to the tip of your toes, has a complete set of genetic information to describe how to make you, except for the sperm and eggs, which have half. So if I take a cell out of my cheek, it has the full instructions how to make my eyes and how to make my heart and how to make my kidney and how tall I'm going to be and what color hair I'm going to have, and all that stuff is in that cell and every other cell of my body except the sperm and egg, which has half. But the connection between that DNA and the traits that you have, that's a big question mark still for us. How exactly is it that the DNA inside of the cell tells you what to look like? And that's what this chapter is about. Now, unfortunately, before I can explain that, we have some ground to cover. You need to know some basic stuff about the structure of DNA for that to work. And you're going to be wondering as we go through it, I don't understand why I need to know this. And I need you to trust me. You need to understand the structure of the DNA, of the material inside the nucleus, before I can explain to you how it determines what you look like. So you're going to have to hang in there for a little bit and just learn the structure of the DNA. And that's what we're going to start with today. So we're going to take a look. Here we have a cell. That's that green thing here. And inside the cell is the nucleus. And inside the nucleus are the chromosomes. Now, humans don't have whatever number there is here, 2, 4, 6, 8. That looks like there's 11 chromosomes in there, or 12, something like that. We have 46 chromosomes, right? So we have 46 chromosomes in there. But whatever number of chromosomes, they're in there, inside the nucleus, which is inside the cell. And one of these chromosomes, if we take it and we make it bigger, we'll see this big X right here. That's what it looks like. And actually, remember that a chromosome is the jumbly mess of DNA all wound up into sticks. So if you look at the chromosome, you can actually unwind it. And here's some of it unwound. It's actually all coiled up like an old phone cord. It's all spirally. And you can see that if you take it and unwind it off of the chromosome, it actually looks like an old phone cord. And then if you take part of that phone cord and you stretch it out, it actually looks like this. And that's the DNA structure. So to go through what we have here, we have the cell, we have the nucleus, we have a chromosome, we have the DNA, and then a small section of the DNA determines a trait, and that will be called a gene. So for example, this little section of DNA may say green eyes. A little section in there that isn't pulled out may say tall, okay? Those are genes. So we have the chromosomes in the nucleus. We have the cell here. We've got a stretch of DNA. A particular segment of DNA that determines a particular trait is a gene. So let's start with the location. Where's the DNA located? Where are the chromosomes located? The nucleus, right? And the chromosomes are made up of what material? DNA. Small section of DNA that determines a trait called a gene. The DNA is actually two strands like this, wound up around each other, and then that's coiled up in a long strand. So you've got these two separate strands that are twisted up around each other, and that shape is described as a double helix. So we have a double helix, that is two strands that are wound up around each other. So if you look right here, if we look really closely in there, you can see that there's one strand, and then there's a second strand, and they are wound up around each other. And then that strand is coiled and coiled and coiled.